we gathered to explore an amazing subject that intertwines the beauty of art with the depth of our personal expression, handwriting and calligraphy. In a world where we often forget the elegance of writing by hand, calligraphy stands as a testament to the spiritual and artistic connection. I emphasize on the word spiritual and artistic connection between our mind, heart and hand. When your head thinks, your heart feels, and your hand translates those thoughts and feelings into writing. It infuses your words with positive energy. It is my great privilege to welcome an extraordinary individual who has turned his passion into a celebrated profession, Maestro Professor K C Janardhan. Professor Janardhan, welcome to Ramakrishna Mission School, Narendrapur. Professor Janardhan is the esteemed founder of J's Quill Group and a global expert in the fields of handwriting and calligraphy. He has been felicitated, awarded and recognized globally, and his contributions have been recognized and honored worldwide. Like the 7 notes in music, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, or in the Western notes, do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, and the 7 colors of the rainbow, Vitio, Professor Janardhan has discovered 7 essential elements in calligraphy. We are excited to learn more about these elements during his discourse. The saying goes, the stroke of the pen and the power of the tongue always rule supreme. Today, we will also request Professor Janardhan to enlighten us about his creation of power handwriting. He has created power handwriting. Remarkably, he is the first and only Indian to write his own passport. A true testament to the artistry and dedication he brings to his craft. Indeed, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Now, without further ado, let us welcome Professor K C Janardhan this evening to Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya, Narendrapur. Now, I would request Swami Tatparanandaji to felicitate him. So, I would request Maharaj to come over to the stage and felicitate him. So, he is being felicitated with a bouquet of flowers by Swami Tatparanandaji Maharaj. And few. K C Janardhan, sir, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Good evening to the organizers of this program, the Maharajas as they are called, and my friends in the first row, and of course, the program is for you all. The young minds, the future of the nation and the future of the world. This is going to be more of a dialogue session that I would like to have. I believe you are my fellow travelers in pursuit of knowledge and excellence. And I was very happy when I was interacting with your Maharajas there and your headmaster a few moments ago that the alumni of this institution has come back to become a part of this institution and to teach you and to head this institution. Because on every Teachers' Day, I wish there are more good teachers coming in. That's what we need. And on every Children's Day, many people say, become this, become that. Here I see the example of people who studied here becoming teachers. That's wonderful. First of all, that's a great move. So let's get on to various things. Your headmaster has already said quite a lot. I don't know from where you picked up all those things, Mr. Saikat, and he had already given you away a lot of things. So let's go ahead. I will be talking about the 7 elements of handwriting. Let me start by saying, learning begins in the womb and it ends only in the tomb. All of us are learners from birth to death. He talked about spiritual dimension, which is there in calligraphy. You are also in a very spiritual environment here, learning a lot of things and understanding things to lead your life in the best possible manner. Now that is written in smart italic style. So what are the 7 elements that I found? If any one of you have any questions, you can put your hand up. I have requested for even a mic that could go around so that you can ask questions and I can answer. I see a lot of, sorry? Hand mic is there. I see a lot of students. I would also like to know how many of you are teachers here who are amongst in this group. How many teachers are there? Can I know the teachers? Okay, there are few teachers. Fine. I understand all of you went to different schools till you came here to join the 5th grade, and I understand 5th grade to 10th grade are here. Okay. So the first and foremost thing that we are emphasizing on is handwriting that you see there, which is required for us for our day-to-day communication. Even in the age of the digital onslaught, we need handwriting in our schools, colleges and universities. You must have heard about Francis Bacon saying, reading makes you a ready person. Today, how many of you indulge in a lot of reading? I know in this environment you should be reading a lot. Reading makes you a ready person. Writing makes you an exact person, and conversation a complete person. So I hope all of you are heading towards that. So handwriting is basic, which we require. And how should your handwriting be? People would say your handwriting should be good. What is good? We'll look into it. How many of you have problems in handwriting? Put your hand up. I am here to solve your problems. Oh, very good. So many of you putting your hands up, we have problems in handwriting. Can I quickly have a round of what problems do you face in handwriting? What are the problems when you write day-to-day writing? I understand that there is a practice of making you write 1 page every day. That's very good. But what do you write in that 1 page? What are the problems that you face when you are writing every day? That is first. Second is when you write your exams, or when you are copying notes, or you are taking down notes in your classroom. What are the different kinds of problems you have faced? Is there any feedback you have got from your teachers or your friends that you must improve your handwriting? Let me know first so that I can tailor it accordingly, because time is short. Even if you are going to go up to 9 o'clock, it's just going to fly away. Yes, please. Put your hand up, you can hold the mic, tell your name and which grade, and you can tell what's your problem. Don't feel shy. Ask and you shall be given. You need to ask. So many hands went up. You have problem in handwriting? Yes, so many hands went up. What's your problem? Yes. There's one young boy who's courageous enough to speak. Give him a nice encouragement. Very good.
Sir, I am Shakuran Ghosh from class 10. So actually, my problem is that when you are performing handwriting as an art or in the form of calligraphy, you get enough time to perform it as an art. But when we are writing the copies, suppose in the exam copies or in the classroom notes, the running notes, we can't maintain the pace with beautiful handwriting. So it's really a problem. And you think that last few minutes are remaining for your exam to get completed, and you have a whole question remaining. Then you can't maintain the beauty of handwriting. Then how can we maintain the pace as well as the handwriting in a contemporary manner? That both will remain same.
Alright. In schools, there is no place for calligraphy. We stop with handwriting. We don't go to calligraphy, and in exams we don't indulge in calligraphy. Schools, colleges and universities, we stop with handwriting. It's like you are learning how to cycle. You must be cycling only. Going to a gearless scooter or going to a bike at a higher level or a super bike, how do we handle it at higher levels? So, you are going to only be doing your handwriting in school, college, day to day. Don't get into calligraphy now. It's too early. Okay? In calligraphy there is no speed. You will have to do it very, very slowly and carefully. Okay, good. So that means you need to know the differences. That is why the slide is here. Once your handwriting is readable, it can go to the next level, which is adorable. Wow! What a lovely handwriting you have. Has somebody said that to you? Any of you had that experience in the past? Wow! What a lovely handwriting! How many of you have got the compliment? One hand going up in that corner. You can stand up, my dear. You got the compliment, right? How did you feel? How did you feel when you get that compliment? Do you get that compliment every day? Did you get it some years ago? Or did you get it recently? Or are you getting it almost every day? Wow! What a beautiful handwriting. Take a look at him. He raised his hand up. Ask for his handwriting sample after the session.
I felt when I show my tasks to the teacher. I show the homework tasks and any tasks given to me. When I show them the tasks I have done, then they appreciate me about my handwriting.
Very good. They are appreciating you. How do you feel when they appreciate you?
It feels very good.
Feels very good.
I used to write two pages, 3 pages when I was a child, when I was in young age. So that time I used to feel very boring writing that 3 pages for sometimes. But when I heard the appreciation from other people, I feel that the 3 pages I write in the past was something useful. That it did something that feels extraordinary like that. Extra too good. It is too good.
Now how is it?
Now the same.
Same?
Yes.
Even today you get appreciation. Very good. Give him a round of applause. How does it feel? Every day somebody is appreciating you, you are getting your positive strokes and brownie points. It's a feel-good factor. And you want to keep writing better and better because it becomes an addiction to get that appreciation every day. Very good. So, from handwriting which is readable, when you move to that level where he was appreciated, it becomes adorable. There are different levels. And then, if it is at adorable levels, some of you are born with artistic abilities by nature. You have a good eye and hand coordination. You are able to copy certain things beautifully. Then you can move to the next level called lettering. What you see there, handwriting, and the arrow goes up to lettering. Lettering is a science which you learn about lines, the straight lines and curved lines. You learn about the thickness and the nuances and the spaces, how you manage the space by putting these lines together. And that is called as typography. By understanding the science of typography, which is normally taught only in design schools after you have left your college. If you become a student of design, you learn typography to design various fonts and other things. That's when you go to lettering, writing in different styles. But at school level, you may want to write something beautifully, so you try to copy something which looks different from your normal handwriting. That is lettering. If you are able to do lettering very well, then you can go to the highest level called as calligraphy, for which it requires you to have a mature mind, experiences in life good and bad, to understand energy fields and transfer of energies. You are in a spiritual environment. I am sure some of you would get that kind of understanding of transfer of energies a bit sooner. If that happens, then you can move to calligraphy. Calligraphy is all about being in a calm, cool, collected state, in a tranquil atmosphere. You are in an audio-visual vacuum where you have the highest level of concentration, where you will not be deterred by any sound or any movement in front of you, and your concentration level goes to such heights that you are only able to see what you are going to write there. The next letter that you are writing there should be there in your mental monitor. And then you are breathing in and breathing out. What happens when you breathe in and breathe out? More oxygen goes in, purifies your blood, and your heart pumps it to all parts of your body. Positive energies go all over. So, as your headmaster had said, your head thinks and thinks nice things, positively, with all the good energies, and your heart feels about what you think, and therefore your thought, your feel should be translated into writing by your hand. So the 3H formula, your head, heart and hand work in tandem and put down what you want to express. And if you do it stylishly in a particular font, and if you have written it properly and transferred your positive energies into your writing, it attains the status of calligraphy. And you attain the status of becoming a calligrapher. So it is too early now to go to calligraphy. Understand the differences, there are different levels. It's like you attended primary school, you went to middle school, you went to college, then university and PhD and postdoctoral studies. Calligraphy is at the highest level. So you must go step by step. If you miss a few steps, then it's going to be disastrous. So I hope you understand the difference between handwriting, lettering and calligraphy. The first vertical, which is complementary and which is very pleasant when you move into the higher levels. Just let me switch off that. So we are clear about the three elements, which are the first vertical, and they are complementary to each other. The next one is graphology, graphonomy, graphotherapy, the central vertical, which is contradictory and controversial to the first vertical. People will say, show me your handwriting and show your character. Well, it can guess your state of mind when you wrote something, and it can be an indicator at the most, not 100% right. So don't get carried away by people who say, I will tell your character. Human character is one which is changeable many times in many circumstances. To really understand how the human mind works and how somebody will behave in a given situation, you need to understand anthropology, sociology and psychology. It's very in-depth. It's very difficult to predict the human mind. So this is only like, a few other ologies that are there, meant for people who have very low self-esteem and self-confidence to rely on that. Okay, with this you can do this, you can do that. Some people have gone way too ahead by saying, if you change your handwriting, you can change your character. That's a little too far. Your character is within you. It is there. And your character also undergoes changes according to your perception, your knowledge, your understanding. It keeps changing when your understanding is getting better and better, or the experiences you have had changes your character. So you cannot go by this graphology, graphonomy, graphotherapy. Just know about it, and it's only for fun that somebody says this is your character, or tell me what my character is. And everybody likes to listen to something nice. If something not nice is said, you don't like it. For example, somebody look at your handwriting sample and say you are a miser. You don't like it. So people will tell you in a very positive sounding manner, you are a person who doesn't waste anything in life. Then you will say yes. You are a person who uses your toothpaste to the last bit by taking the pinch roller and rolling it and squeezing out even the last bit. Optimum utilization of available resource. You see nice and say yes. Both are same. Miser and this both mean the same. So don't fall prey to flowery language which can make you say yes. And again, character, whether positive or negative, people ask. I feel every character is neutral. It gets a positive connotation or a negative connotation based on the situation, the time frame in history that you are living in, the locality or the environment in which you live, and the belief system that exists there. So the belief systems make certain things positive or negative. So take it as neutral, and as you grow up, you will understand how the connotation changes according to situations and circumstances. The last one is called as question document examination, where people copy another person's signature or their handwriting and then they produce a fake document. And that is when a fake document is presented, it is a document in question. It's called question document examination, used in forensic science to detect criminology, and that's where we use this rational approach to find out whether somebody has copied a particular person's signature or handwriting and then write a report. The central vertical was emotional, more about your emotions. This is rational. These are the 7 areas I found in handwriting. I hope it's all clear to you. If you have any doubts at the end of it, you can question and I will clarify it to you. Okay. What is the definition of handwriting? Handwriting is a visual expression of speech. I am talking to you. You are able to hear me. You are not able to see the words. And a means by which we deliberately send down messages that we want to communicate. So it's a medium of communication. So there has to be clarity. Okay, good handwriting. Can anybody tell me what is good handwriting? Any one of you can define good handwriting. What is good handwriting? Before we go to that, let me take you through from where did we get our handwriting. Who taught us handwriting? Who taught us, the Indians, handwriting in English? Yes? Yes? 1 or 2 hands going up. One boy there, stand up so that they can see you and come to you. I want someone to be really quick with the mic. Inquisitive minds, when they have questions or when they answer, I think we need to really give more importance to them. That's when true learning happens. I love those dialogues than monologues. Yes, young man.
English handwriting was introduced to the Indian people by the foreigners who came to conquer India.
Who were those foreigners who taught us English handwriting?
From the various countries like United Kingdom, French, Portuguese.
Okay, thank you. Alright, that's what history tells us. The British came in and taught us English handwriting. And this was the first city that they came to set up a lot of things after Chennai, and they wanted to teach English handwriting. But English handwriting is not English, not British. Who taught the British how to write properly? The Romans. The Romans ruled the British for 500 plus years. They taught them the ABCDs. And in the 16th century, as it was evolving and many changes were happening, in England there was a style called copper plate that was used. As you see on the screen behind me. See the way copper plate is written. Thick and thin lines. It was written with a flex nib, which produced a thick line in the downward stroke and a fine hairline in the upward stroke. It was beautiful, producing those sugary flourishes as you would call. And that was the kind of writing people had to indulge in the 16th and 17th century. What was life then? You could take your own sweet time to write one full page. You can even take one full day to write it. But there was all slow times going on, not like today. So copper plate was popular even today. Copper plate is a style that is followed by the royalty in Britain. Any of these invitations sent out from the 5 royal homes, starting with Buckingham Palace or the Windsor Castle or the Holyrood House, there are so many of them. All invitations should be only in copper plate style. So 16th, 17th century this was being used. Tell me how many of you can write copper plate today with a dip and write dip, drain out excessing, and then slowly form those letters beautifully. Many of your teachers here also would tell me their father or grandfather had a beautiful handwriting. It was like printing, lovely, because they had the time to dip and write and drain off excessing, again dip and write, and as it dries up, dip and write again. So what happened is, in the 18th and 19th century, now copper plate was also introduced to India, and the flex nibs went away and we got a nib with a semi-spherical tip, as you see in fountain pens today. How many of you are aware of fountain pens? Oh, that's very nice to know. Hands going up. Fountain pen is the best writing instrument ever to be made. Ball pens and gel pens, I call them as scribbling instruments. Don't use a ball pen or gel pen if you want your handwriting to be good or to improve your handwriting. Use a fountain pen. And you are from the land where the inks that are produced. Here is the person from Sulekha inks. You must be knowing Sulekha inks, right? Or you saw the banner there. Mahatma Gandhi asked them to make inks, and they have been making inks from almost 90 plus years. They had gone away for a few years for various reasons known to people in Calcutta, but they came back very strongly with dye-based inks, with eco-friendly inks, and beautifully packaged inks which evokes Indianness in them. So use those inks in fountain pens and write beautifully. Never give up that fountain pen in your lives. So let's go to copper plate. So with those fountain pens that you are using today, with that kind of a semi-spherical tip which is in the nib, when you write copper plate, you will get a single line or a monoline. Look at copper plate written on the right side going upwards. This is what they must have taught you in school called as cursive writing. How many of you have heard cursive writing? Very good. Running handwriting. You haven't heard running handwriting? Joint handwriting. So you have heard cursive. Now the problems that you face is because of cursive. Cursive handwriting is not the right style to be taught, but they didn't know that when the British exported it to its former British colonies, and we started becoming the victims of a wrong system. This is how copper plate is written. If you see the top left with the copper plate nib and the holder, on the top right you have the capitals. Look at the sugary flourishes, thick and thin lines. Then you see bottom left ABCD written in cursive as taught in schools, and then see bottom right what has happened to your writing. Cursive leads to a lot of problems. When you write faster than your human capacity, it goes off track. What are the cursive problems? Do you see the second line, whatever it is? When you write a letter to somebody, you start by writing my dear, but how does it read? My clear. So clear the person straight away, not clear. Then what have I written next? Is it human, humor, humus? Anybody's guess. Then what is the next one? Running, or is this nunning? So your letters H, M, N, U, V, W, they flatten out into waves when you write fast. Right or wrong? They become waves. H, M, N, U, V, right? And W. Your A, when it is opened, looks like a U. When your G, when it is opened, looks like a Y. When your H is shortened, it becomes like N. When D is shortened, it becomes like A. I know we all come from this great country called India, where our local languages are written between 2 lines, whereas English is written between 4 lines. And that's where we get into a lot of confusion. So if you have come from a local language background or a mother tongue background, all of us face these issues in English. And there are no capital letters in local languages. Only English has capital letters. So some of us write a lowercase letter in the big size to depict as capital. Cursive issues has become a cursed style. I am sorry to say this. Cursive is a cursed style of writing. On the right side you see R and S. I have shown you an R and S. Then next to it is an R and S without the head. Many times when you write R and S, it is beheaded. There is no proper loop on top. There is something hanging at the end of the letter. To say it's a plural, it's an S. Look at the issues of cursive. I hope you are able to relate to it. Young minds, you are able to relate to these issues. You still have problems? Put your hand up. How many of you relate to these issues in cursive? Most of you relate to it, that's very good. So what is good handwriting? A good handwriting is legible. What is the meaning of legible? A lot of people have been telling us, write legibly, write legibly. Now what is legible? Legible means no overwriting, no scratching, right? No malformation. And all your writing should be uniform in size. Each letter is properly formed. Not like how you saw my dear written, which looks like my dear, right? And whatever else you write should not change the meaning. Each letter is properly formed with proportionate height and width and spaced properly between words and lines. Here I want to ask you a question. You went to school from pre-primary to 5th standard until you came here. What was told to you in school about how much spacing should be given between words? Do you remember? Yes. He says 1 finger spacing. How many of you agree to 1 finger? Very few. Okay, very few hands going up for 1 finger. So what should be the spacing? Yes, the others please. What were you told about the spacing between words? Only few were told 1 finger? Okay, 1 finger was good. Who told you 1 finger? When you were in? Pre-nursery. Okay. Now, which class are you in? 10th. In pre-nursery, teacher told 1 finger it is good because your finger was small. Now you have grown up, you are in 10th, you are the same size as you were in pre-nursery. So your finger also has grown in length and width?
Yes, sir.
So 1 finger spacing was alright then, but as you grow up 1 finger you will have to forget. This is something, if you have been told 1 finger spacing, please let go and I will tell you what should be the spacing. Okay, what is the spacing between lines? You see, I have written something, there is spacing between words, spacing between lines. Okay, in English language writing, in the alphabet of English, how many ascenders are there, how many descenders are there? 26 letters, right? How many ascenders, how many descenders? You have 5 ascenders, B, D, H, K, L, and 5 descenders, G, J, P, Q, and Y. The simple rule is, when you have controlled the height of your ascender and length of your descender, the first line which has descenders like G, J, P, Q, Y, and the next line that has ascenders like B, D, H, K, L should not touch each other. So you need to get control of your writing, and you need to have your eye and hand coordination and proper movement of your hand. So good handwriting is not enough. You must get power handwriting. What is this powerful handwriting? Your headmaster told you that I will share something about power handwriting. It must have the power to attract people to your handwriting, like that boy said, beautiful and appreciations. Beyond that, it should get people to give you certain things. I have had many experiences across the globe, from America to New Zealand, where handwriting helped me to do a lot of things. It's got that power. Like when he introduced, he said, I was allowed to write my own passport, which is never done for anybody. So I remain the only person in the world even today who was allowed to write my own passport. External Affairs Ministry made that change in the rule because of the power of handwriting. 4 countries have offered me citizenship because of handwriting. I used to get tickets in buses when everything was full. I used to get tickets in Indian Airlines those days when the plane was full. Just give a handwritten note, or we used to fill up a form and somebody would say, wow, such a lovely handwriting. Thank you so much. Can I have a ticket? When your mind is feeling good and your heart is also feeling nice, it helps. Good handwriting has the ability, power handwriting has the power to melt the person who is looking at it and do something for you. Most often I got MLA quota in the buses in the 90s and up to 2000 till it became digitized. I got an MP quota in the Indian Airlines, and in the train I used to get an emergency quota release. That is the power of handwriting. And wherever I went in the world, when I sent a handwritten note, it brought a lot of people across to appreciate. Many people like their names to be written beautifully. Your name is your sweetest word in the world, somebody said. Similarly, if your name is written beautifully, many people feel nice. And it doesn't stop there. I have been to a lot of universities, and morning to evening I have addressed a gathering twice or thrice this size, and after 5 o'clock they will never let me go. They will come to the guest room and be there after 12 o'clock in the night. Sir, my name, sir, mother's name, sir, father's name, sir, brother's name, sir, sister's name, sir. See what it does? It does magic. It brings people to you. And more people you know and more people like what you do brings you greater power. Right? It has the power to attract marks. I have been a professor teaching postgraduates, MBAs and MComs for last many years from late 80s. Correcting answer scripts was a problem. Today I was discussing, many school teachers find it a problem to correct your classwork or your homework or your examination answer scripts. So let me give you one secret why you have problems in exam. How many hours is your examination? Tell me, how many hours of examination do you write? 3 hours? Wonderful. In 3 hours, what is the effective writing time? Do you write for a whole 3 hours? Half an hour is gone to read your question paper, understand that, to formulate your answers, and start answering in whichever pattern you want to, what you know best, and what you don't know you will take it to the last. And then, halfway through, satellite link gets cut off. And you start wondering, so where will I get the link? Right? Some people try to see if there is another station or a channel next to you from where you can pick up. Right? And finally, you are racing against time in that last half an hour. Somebody is telling you only half an hour. Quick, write as much as possible. So what are you doing? You are trying to write certain things beyond your capacity, beyond your ability. And everybody says, write fast. How fast? I want to ask this question. I think that's where your problems are. Write fast, write fast. How many of you have been told, write fast, write fast? Slowly, many hands going up. How fast? Have you ever asked? I have been asking these questions all over the world, from primary school onwards. People never told us how fast. We have another senior headmaster here, whom I met last time. How fast is to be told? Because like yesteryears, like you said, we can't write fast in examination. What is our human capacity? Now if I ask you to run, how fast can you run? Tell me how fast? How many kilometers per hour can you run? Tell me, as a human being. How fast can you run? How fast, guys? How fast can you run? Tell me, how fast? As fast as a scooter, motorcycle, car, bus? Your legs will not take you so quickly. Maybe for a short while you can run fast, but not as fast as a scooter. Maybe you can do 10 to 12 miles per hour. So similarly, your hand also has got a limitation to write fast. How many words per minute is the question. As a grown-up human being, you can write 18 to 23 words, that is the bandwidth. 18 to 23 words with legibility or readability. If you cross the 23 words per minute, most of you will have trauma in your hands and your writing will go awry. You lose control. So if we give an average of 20 words per minute in a 3-hour examination, you are going to effectively write only for 2.5 hours. So how many minutes is 2.5 hours? 3 hours is 180. 2.5 hours is 150. So 150 into 20 words. In 3000 words, you should be able to answer any subject straight to the point. That is where your vocabulary, your command over a language comes in to answer the question paper in that stipulated time. Got it? That's the secret. Writing fast doesn't help. When we correct, we are looking for content. We are not looking at whether we can produce another author in that subject. Okay? So writing fast means there is a speed at which you can write. Don't exceed that speed. If you can exceed and maintain readability, wonderful. You may be an exception to the rule. So, what did Mahatma Gandhi say? Bad handwriting is a sign of imperfect education. Right? We can't blame our teachers. We can't blame the current system because it is all being given by the British and it's been passed on year after year. So let us change to the right system and the right way of writing. I am happy that they said they don't insist upon a particular style of writing that you need to write. And I also understood that you are given the print style that you are shown in your primary schools to write in an enjoined fashion for greater clarity. Forget about cursive and joining it up. If anybody says joining up and writing is a mature way, please don't listen to that. Unjoined writing is the best. How many languages in this country use joint writing? Please tell me. Do you join up and write Bangla? No. It's only the derivative of Devanagari, which is Hindi, which has a common line on the top, but each character is not joined to the other. All languages in India are written in enjoined fashion. Even English, if you are writing enjoined fashion, is excellent. Okay? Now many people take a look at the doctors. You know, this doctor's handwriting. How many of you want to become doctors? Put your hand up. Yeah, quite a lot of you want to become doctors. Don't think if you have a bad handwriting now it's a pre-qualification to become a doctor. No. मैं तो डॉक्टर बन जाऊंगा यार. I'll become a doctor. So if I can scribble well, I can become a doctor. Please stop that mindset. I know many doctors who write beautifully. They take time to write beautifully. All right. We are all victims of a wrong methodology and system and style. Year after year, some of you are very brilliant, but you are surprised when you get your marks. How did I get so low marks? Because your handwriting did not support what you wrote, and that's why you got lesser marks. And average ones have been failing in exams because of bad handwriting. Right? These are the issues that you face. And today, in the digital age, everybody is into texting with the cell phones. How many of you are very good in texting? Put your hand up. Many hands going up here. You know, over texting, what happens? They have found research in USA that your digits will fail and fall off. Your thumbs will become useless if you are going to be texting too much. You know what people have got in USA? Finger arthritis, repetitive strain injuries, carpal tunnel syndrome, a variety of problems have emerged by overuse of your keyboards and your cell phones. So please keep that in check and continue to write a lot of things, because when you write there's a lot of connection between your head and heart, and it will also help you express beautifully. Then there are so many issues happening, and when you stop writing, what happens? In America they stopped handwriting in schools for 10 years, and there was a study done. What happened to these children who didn't write for 10 years? Your cognitive skills take a beating, your memory becomes bad, and your vocabulary is gone. So your power of expression is being lost out. As human beings, the greatest power we all have and we develop is the power of expression in writing or in speaking. So please see that the power of expression is retained, and the more you write, the better you become. Alright, what are the benefits even in the digital age? More marks. First impression should create the best impression, and the last impression should leave a lasting impression, because you have a lot of competition in this world. You don't get a second chance to make the first impression. You can impress anyone, anytime, any age with good, beautiful, or move on to powerful handwriting. So let me move on from here, because we are at 8:30, to give you a few more interesting things about how to get over. Now look at this slide. It says habit. Many of you may have developed wrong pen holds, wrong posture, wrong placement of paper, movement of your hand, all that you would have developed unknowingly from your younger days. So if I ask people, they say it's a habit. Habit ban gaya. Look at the word habit. If you remove H, what remains? A bit of it remains. If you remove the A, bit remains. If you remove the B, it still remains in you. And so, if you practice for 21 days continuously, anything you want to do in your life, and continue it for a few more months, it becomes a new habit, and get hold of right habits. So let's go to how do you hold your pen. How do you hold your pen? There is a lovely poem that I would like to read out to you. In the time that I am given, I can only show you the tip of the iceberg. This is a lovely poem. Between your thumb and two fingers place your pen to write with comeliness and grace. Your thumb first aloft as high as bestow, your forefinger next and your middle below. Hold softly your pen. Don't clutch it too tightly. How many of you hold the pen very tightly? Every time you pick up your pen or pencil, it tells me, he is grinding me to death. Ask him to release the pressure. You want to doubt yourself. What is that kind of anger that you want to release with your pen and pencil? Hold it gently, not too tightly. Hold softly your pen, lean lightly thereon. There are some people when they write, your pen makes some noise. Right? You should lean lightly on the paper, not plow the paper with the pen. Right? You don't need to press it at all. If it's a fountain pen, it writes like butter, beautiful. And if it's got the right kind of ink, that gives you a greater lubricant to write with a buttery feel. Write softly therewith and pause thereupon. After every few letters you write, you may write 3 or 4 words, then move your hand. Pause to move, so that you get a straight line. You should pause, not go on continuously like that. Write few words, pause, move, write few words, pause, move. That's the way you can maintain your consistency of writing. For swiftness will come of itself and on, speed will come by itself. Your capacity of 18 to 23 words or slightly more. Ill tricks are soon caught, but not so soon gone. One look at how you are writing by the trained eyes can make out what are all your problems. How beautifully written by Peter Mayers. When was it written? 1590. So your takeaway today will be, what's the definition of handwriting, what is good handwriting, and how to hold your pen. And look at this pictures, how they are holding. How many of you identify yourself with any of this hold? These are all the wrong ways of holding a pen. So I can see a few people pointing fingers there. So if you are holding somewhere like this, please try to get away from that. And too thin a pen for these hands. You should choose a pen according to your palm size, finger length, and the finger diameter of the finger pads. It's like buying your footwear. It should fit you. Half a size more or half a size less will not help you to walk properly. Similarly, the pen, the girth of the pen, the area where we call it the pen hold, should be fitting comfortably in your hands. Then you won't squeeze it. You will not hold it tightly. You hold it gently. Right? Look at them giving it on the forefinger pressure, squeezing it. Look at the top left. How much of a squeeze with the forefinger? How many of you do that? You're troubling yourself. Yes, a few hands are going up. Don't do that. You are troubling your forefinger. You're putting your hand into trauma. And how many of you bend over when you write with your left hand on the table and lie down and write? Yes, a few hands going up. You need to avoid all these things. These are all the things that you should not be doing. Look at the last picture on the right. Finger clasped and held like some instrument for something else, not for writing. Look at this forefinger pressure. Most of you have this forefinger pressure which you need to get away from. You are able to identify? And forefinger and thumb joined together in one of them, putting double barrel pressure on the middle finger. How many of you have got problem with your middle finger, pain in the middle finger after some time? Yes, see, straight away one hand went up very quickly. How many of you have a lump in your middle finger, slight lump? That's because you are giving too much pressure and holding it in the wrong way and hugging your middle finger. Afterwards, hold it gently and properly. You will get away from all this. Even that lump will disappear over a period of time. Look at the one on the right. All fingers hold. If anybody is like that, please avoid it. Look at these poses that a teacher was giving while writing. Like this, like that, with your left hand. Don't support your head, chin or your face with your left hand. Left hand is to hold the paper below the writing line. And leg positions, one leg forward, one leg backward. It alters your posture, which also alters your writing. You see, so many things are involved to get a good handwriting. Look at this. How close to the paper, and your freedom is restricted. See the movements, how it's happening, and formation of letters. Forefinger pressure. All the ascenders and descenders are getting shortened because of the space constraint. You're able to watch it, isn't it? Very slim pen. Look at the hand. Look at the size of the fingers. Look at the size of the pen. Okay. So I am going to take you to a few more things and then we will have questions. English is written between 4 lines, as I told you. How many of you have written this 4-line book in your primary school? Very good. Do you remember the names of those 4 lines? 2 red lines, 2 blue lines. Copybook. They have names. The top line is called as the line. The next line is called as the mean line. The third line is called as the base line, and the last line is the decimal line. The top line will limit your BDHKL in your lowercase. The shoulder line of the mean line limits the height of the body of the letter, and the last line, not the last line, the third line is called the base line. It's like all of you are different sizes sitting in the same row of seats. So it's a base line, whether it's uppercase, lowercase, everything rests on the same line, and the last line is the descender line, limiting the length of the descenders, which is B, G, J, P, Q, and Y. Now understand the 4 lines, that you will be able to control the letters well. Alright, I want a volunteer. Can you come here? Quickly run up to the stage. Let us understand the anatomy of letters so that you can relate to it very well. Quickly. One of you quickly onto the stage. Come. I want you to stand here. All of you please watch him. I'm going to ask him some questions and he will also come to my left. Alright. What's your name? Uncle Kumar. Let everybody see. Uncle Kumar, I'm going to ask you, where is your body? Where is your body?
You can use the mic.
Yeah, there's a mic there. Yes, you can use the mic. I asked him, where is your body? He says, I am on the stage. Uncle Kumar, where is your body?
I'm on the stage.
I asked, where is your body? He says, I am on the stage. I'm asking you, where is your body?
Body is with me.
My body is with me. Hey, you have read science, right? Biology. Body. You guys have watched a lot of movies and you have heard about body means from where to where? From where to where is your body?
From head to toe.
From head to toe. From head to toe is only a dead body. When a person dies only they will ask, when is the body coming? When is the body coming? You are alive, man. Where is your body? Simple things which we need to understand. Now, he says head to toe is body. Now, if you get some pain here, you say, my body is aching. What do you say?
My head
is aching. Something falls here. My body is aching. Do you say that?
No.
What do you say?
I have pain in my neck.
I have pain in my neck, pain in my neck. I hit myself. My body is aching.
Pain in my hand.
Pain in my hand, my forearm, to be even more specific. So you see, we have forgotten various parts of the body. Body means I am here, I am totally here, head to toe. Sorry, let's change that. Now we are going to learn a little bit about letters of English alphabet and how to understand and relate to it so that you maintain the proportions properly. Okay? You relate to your own body, it will be better. Now, face the body. Now, let me ask you one more thing. You have seen movies, right? Hands up! That's what you find in the movies, right? Hands up means everybody's hand, your arm goes up. This is your hand. Hands up means only so much. Why you are doing this? What is hands up? We are influenced by movies. Is this your hand completely? What is this? That is shoulder. Somebody asked you to raise your shoulder. Hands up, please. So we'll be clear. So, okay. Now put your arm up. Arms. Arm is full. This is forearm. Use your arm. Put your arms up. Both your arms up. Very good. Now, these are the ones which are like your BDHKL. Your ascendant line is there on top. Then your arms are up. Okay? The second line is the shoulder line or the main line. The third line is the base line at your waist. And the last line is at the floor where the feet is touching. That's the descender line. Now, can you relate to it? Ascender, body of the letter, and descender. Easy? Now, the head and neck also will come. When you write T and F, there are two letters which have a head and a body, which means your head is not as tall as your BDHKL. It is shorter than it. Raise your arm up, one of your arm up. Is the head as tall as that? Shorter. T and F are shorter. Okay, remember that. And now stretch your arms, both your arms like this. T and F have got a head and a body, no leg, no descender, and two arms outstretched. So many people don't cross the T and F properly. Now you can relate to it easily. So simple. Now let's play a game. lowercase a. A has a body, I said. Now, where can we write A? A has a body. Next, B has a body and a stretcher. Right arm up. B has a body and a arm outstretched. Put it down. C has a body. D has a body and a left arm up. Arm outstretched. Now I want you to answer. E has got what? E. Only body. Very good. F. F has got a head and a body and two arms outstretched. C and F should be crossed, isn't it? Simple. You can now work on other letters. We go further into classification of saying A has a body. Look at the slide. I have put in brackets M. M means normal body. C has a body which is ln, less than normal body. I, J, T, L are thin body. M is a motor body, W is a wide body. Now did you get the proportions of the width of the body? So easy, isn't it? Understand this, then you are able to control the height and width of all the letters. Thank you very much. Now did you understand clearly? Easy to relate? BDHKL are ascenders and further classification is given there. GJPQ are descenders, which is normal, which is less than normal. All that is classified. So you know the anatomy of letters. T and F are the ones which has got a body, neck and a head and two arms outstretched. So you know the anatomy and structure. Good. Then we introduce capital line as well as a T and F line. The capitals are lesser in height when compared to your ascenders of the lowercase, and the T and F have got only a head and a body, so you see a dotted line which is T and F line. Okay, I'll teach you how to write your letters with just 3 straight lines. Italic. Italic is the best. With just these 3 straight lines, by arranging them in different order, you can master the width and also construction of letters. So we are not going to talk about handwriting anymore. I am going to give you a new nomenclature. Guess what we can call this? We are going to manufacture small lines, small parts and assemble them together. So you all will learn what is called as alphabet engineering program. What is engineering? Manufacturing small parts, putting them together logically. So the first one is horizontal lines. Little by little by little you need to move. Like your headmaster had said in the introduction, 7 has got rhythm and harmony. Like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti or sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. Or the 7 colors that you see in Vibgyor, it's got rhythm and harmony. 7 days a week, rhythm and harmony. So first exercise is that. I'll just show you a little bit of it, how you go across the page. Look at the way I'm holding the nib. Little by little by little you go across the page in a straight line. Then we call what is the long stems, which is written from the ascender to base. All this long stems should be written equidistant and parallel to each other from ascender to base line. Look at this, how it's written. Equidistant and parallel. Called as the long stems. I am looking at the clock and I am going to go a little faster to skip to the next exercises. Then we write what is called as the short stems. Those are the short stems that you are seeing. And then you will also see with short stems we are going to also connect with the diagonal lines. You see, I am writing a set of short stems. 6 of them equidistant and parallel, and now I am going to connect them with diagonal lines. With this you will get your U, V and W's well balanced and the control. since we don't have much time for me to ask you to sit right and do it, you are just looking at the demo. And then we go to the next exercises. What we do is we cover the top and create what is called as an A counter. This will allow you to write your A, B, G, Q and also formulate your E and C from there. The A counters. And then we do the opposite of the ones we did for UPW. This will give us the strength to write your H, M, N and R. Right? For the arches as we call it, in H, M, N and R. N, M, H as well as the R. We go to the last exercise, the seventh exercise, where we cover the base of this last exercise with a horizontal line to give us the B and P counter. 6 lines equidistant and parallel between the mean and base line. Look at this. It creates a B and P. Okay? I'm going to skip and go to a slide that I'm going to show you. When you master these lines, what do you get? When you write the letters in their skeletal shape or the basic structure, you have seen construction of buildings, columns and beams and various things. This is how it will look. And once you fill it up with the counters that you practiced, you will get ABCD like this. The structure is created. Now we want beauty, so we are going to chisel a little bit and get the beauty. Okay? We do what is called a chiseling of the A and B counter. We remove a triangular space which is marked in black. Then you see the end result, how it becomes a triangle. And then when we chisel the counters and write, let me show this video how it will come up. On the top you see the line where it was constructed with straight lines. Now we are going to chisel the letters and write. So you will see how the chiseling of the counters happen. That's the portion that we are going to remove, which means you are going to get a shape as shown what is left in white space. This is for B counter and this is how the effect will be. And I'll quickly run through the complete constructions. Here you will see the chisel letters, how the A to Z will appear when you go through this construction and restructure your writing. The beauty is enhanced. We have 7 more minutes left to 9 o'clock. I was told 9 is the closing time. I'm sorry if some people are kept hungry or it's your sleeping time. Take a look at this construction to become an alphabet engineer. Wouldn't you like to write like this, all of you? Why the voice is so low? It must be a strong yes, isn't it? Come on. Very good. You need to write beautifully. You need to attract marks. You need to attract a lot of things to you. You need to get the power. Power to go win the world. Alright? So that's fine. We stop there and then I want to close with 1 or 2 quotations and then leave the floor open for a few questions. You see, time is short. There's a lot that I would want to cover, but then even 3 hours or 4 hours is not enough for me to give you. So we went into the practical tips that would be helpful for you to restructure your writing and get the power. Let me close by saying that handwriting is the dance of the pen on paper, said Alfred Fairbanks. So let your pen dance on paper with that fountain pen, which does the beautiful dance. And fill it with Sulekha inks, so become buttery smooth. Right? One of the best companies in the world is there in Calcutta. How lucky you people are. And then remember, the first impression makes the best impression, and the last impression should leave a lasting impression. Okay? So, with that, I will close and say, next time you pick up a pen, fountain pen, think you are holding a dancer between your hands. Hold the dancer gently and you perform your dance on the paper, writing whatever you need to. And your paper is your stage, and people who are going to see your writing become your audience. So it's all in your hands, my dear young minds. What you're going to draw from your audience, whether it's going to be appreciations after appreciations, it's in your hands. So wishing you all the very best, and saying this, that the power of the tongue and the power of your strokes in your hand will always rule supreme. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. If any questions are there, I will take it. If the time is short, I can only give you the tip of the iceberg. Thank you. So, you need to be answering now. Yes? This boy? Come on, put your hand up full. Your arm up.
Sir, I am Aruna Chakraborty of class 10. Sir, before this evening, I was continuing to think that I am age of 16, and I was continuing to think that I have a habit of bad handwriting, and I cannot change it in my whole life. But after this evening, you showed that presentation that it is not a habit. I must have to do it, and I have the inspiration to change my handwriting style after this program. Thank you.
Wonderful. Please start doing it. Very good. You can change the way it looks. You become an alphabet engineer. If something goes wrong, you become an alphabet mechanic to fix it. Yes, guys, the others, please. We have just 2 minutes left to 9. Stand up so that we can identify you better.
I'm very expressive. So, putting on this, you just told that our handwriting should be advanced. But in a 3-hour examination, we have around 3,000 or 4,000 words to write. Then how to explain those to that? What should we do? I'm missing a bit of tips from you. So, what should we do to have a balance between this beauty which you're talking about and our precision? Because your quantity is huge. So, how to expect to how should we strike out the balance between the quality and the quantity of the notes?
Good question. I've been appealing to all my friends in academics to expect only 3,000 word answers and to teach in classroom how to answer in 3,000 words in any subject that they teach, because the examination we are checking your understanding, not your verbosity.
Okay.
And the power of words, which is the vocabulary and précis writing, will let the person who is evaluating know your ability to express in few words but in completeness. So work towards that. There are a lot of corollaries around it actually. There will be a lot more coming up. I only exposed the tip of the iceberg today. Good you brought up that point. I appreciate that. Give him a hand. He is actually contributing something on behalf of all of you. Anybody else? Last minute left. Yes. What is your takeaway? What will you do from the next hour?
So, just being frank, how can someone copy a person's signature just like perfectly?
Good question. Someone can copy a person's signature perfectly, exactly looking the same. But it is only cosmetic copying. Like if you go to a wax museum, like Madame Tussauds or any other museum you've heard of, it's a carbon copy, exact copy of the living being. But you go and touch the statue, it is cold. So what they cannot copy is the intrinsic value, as we call, which is the intrinsic character of the signature of the pressure variations, which cannot be copied. When you copy, you will have even pressure everywhere because you are concentrating on the shape. It should look like the same, carefully copied. That's the giveaway. You can't get the flow with which the person signs. It is unique to an individual. Good question. Come on, give him a hand, man. It's 9 o'clock. Let me finish by saying a good handwriting is a writer's pride and a reader's delight. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
On a lighter note, let me finish with this. Thanks in advance to Professor K C Janardhan. This is from the perspective of a teacher. The doing the teachers